Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome to Eric's Creative Careers event.
Thank you.
We're really excited to have you because actually today we've got a lot of people who have started their own business. So
Mm.
um, we are excited to speak with more founders like yourself. So you, Michelle, are the founder of Chatty Cats Care.
Yes.
But you've also had lots of different kind of careers, or you've had lots of different portfolio careers. That's what you're also here to talk about.
Yes.
Um, why don't you start a bit about, well, why don't you start by telling everyone a bit about who you are, about Chatty Cats Care for any cat lovers out there, and then we can start talking about what portfolio careers means.
Yes, so thank you for having me. My name's Michelle and I am a solo founder. So I founded the company Chatty Cats Care and it's a pet sitting company. So if you know what babysitting is, it's basically that, but just for cats. So it's like a cat babysitting service. So it's quite niche, but there's actually a huge demand for this type of service, especially in the UK. So I originally I'm a creative, so my background is in theatre, performing. I studied a master's in applied theatre, which is basically theatre therapy. And after graduating, I found it really difficult to find a job within my field. You know, the creative industry, it's very saturated, it's quite difficult. But I've been cat sitting whilst I was studying for my master's. And I just absolutely loved it. I loved cats. I didn't even know that this job was a thing. So when I discovered it, I was like, have I just found the perfect job? Like, this is just incredible. So then, yeah, then the pandemic happened. So I started, well, I had this idea for a business, kind of started it. Then we had a global pandemic, and I was like, okay, like, what do I do now? But then I kind of pivoted slightly to going back to my creative instincts. I created a podcast about cats and cat owners, and I interviewed a number of amazing people. And then I kind of grew that social media presence online so that when the restrictions were lifted, I knew that people would be able to find me, and that's exactly what happened. So I grew from just one person. I now have around 50 people working for me all over London. I started with a mere £200 investment from my own money, and I've grown it to a six-figure business.
Incredible. Oh my gosh, Michelle, that is fantastic. You don't need Dragon's Den. You just, got £200. That is incredible. God, hats off to you.
Thank you.
And so we're talking about portfolio career. What does that mean? Because you're really passionate about telling creatives that you don't need to just have one job.
100%. So for me, a portfolio career is not putting yourself in one job title. It's about building a mix of roles, projects, income streams that reflect who you are. So in my case, for example, I'm not just a business owner. I'm a pet care provider. I'm a mentor. I'm a people manager. I'm a community builder. And I collaborate with other creative businesses as well. So two of them are from different creative industries. One of them is Urban Potters, and it's a pottery company. And I recently collaborated with them the beginning of this year, and now we hold cat-themed pottery classes. And then I also collaborated with London Gals Creative Group, and that's basically a mix of creative women from London who come together to do various creative workshops. And we're going to be creating a cat art theme workshop in January 2026.
Well, sign me up. Okay, wow. And would you say that the success of portfolio career or having a portfolio career means that you need to understand the business side of things? Like you need to understand the strategy behind what you're doing. Like, do you think a lot of creatives kind of pigeonhole themselves maybe into one craft and they don't really understand like, okay, but how can I make money? How can I make partnerships? How can I extend my revenue? Maybe I don't know why, but sometimes I feel like creatives and money and revenue like doesn't quite go in the same sentence, but we should be paid for what we do and our creativity.
100%. Yeah, for me, like the biggest benefit to doing this is the security of having that variety, of having like multiple income streams. Like maybe it's client work that you're doing, maybe it's your own project, maybe you're doing a teaching job on the side, and it's less frightening or daunting when one of them slows down because you're not just defined to just having one employer or one single client. So there's lots of benefits to having a creative portfolio. You don't have to squeeze all your creativity into one role, and you can have like more structured or serious work as one of your income streams, and then you can go for something more experimental and playful in another stream, which is like what I'm doing with the pottery and the creative art classes. So that's what I'm passionate about. But like my bread and butter is like the pet sitting. So I'm doing that. But then I also wanted to feel more fulfilled and be able to channel my creativity. So that's why I wanted to collaborate with other creatives to build something that felt more aligned with who I am.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I think creative people are often multitasking, thinking of lots of different things, and so we need actually lots of different projects to keep us fulfilled.
Yes.
So if someone wants to start having a portfolio career, like, maybe they're at college, leaving school, like where do you start? How do you begin this journey?
I would say kind of look for something that is meaningful for you. Like like you mentioned earlier, like it's not just about income. Like you shouldn't just go for something because you think, okay, this is going to give me the best return, because I just think that that's not sustainable. You have to really love what you do. And then if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. So it is sustainable and it can create great revenue and profits for you. So I think, first of all, find out what you really love and what you want to do, and then try to build from there.
Mm, mm. And I think like even if you obviously do need the financials, you need to pay the bills, like doing something that is clearly that's paying the bills, but then something else will be the thing that you enjoy.
Exactly.
So again, you don't have to choose either or. You can be doing both. I One of our guests was actually a girl called Laura, and she works for quite a corporate company, 9 to 5, but then in the evening she does her pottery. So and she loves it, and she's starting her own pottery business on the side, but she's also getting this security of having a 9 to 5, being
Exactly.
paid, all of that. Um, so do you think everyone can have a portfolio career, or do you have to be like a specific type of person?
That's a good question. So I think I learnt a lot about myself, definitely along the way of creating a portfolio career. But I would say one skill that you definitely need is to have good self-management skills. No one's watching the clock for you, so you need to be organized. You need to follow up. You need to invoice. You need to chase, and you need to basically deliver. And I would say the second quality is probably curiosity, like be willing to learn new tools, new platforms, new ways of working. And I've definitely had to adapt and learn personally as well. I would say the third is probably communication and reliability with multiple clients and projects. So people need to be able to trust that you're going to show up and do what you say and keep them updated as well. That's so important.
Mm. Hmm. And do you think you can learn that on like you can learn that on the job, or those are traits that you're born with?
I think you can definitely learn because I wouldn't say that I was always good at self-managing myself. I think a lot of things in life are trial and error. So you really need to just learn what works for you, what are the best methods for you,
Mm.
like what works for me. Am I an early riser? Can I get everything done in the morning, or do I prefer to work more in the late afternoon and, evening? For me personally, I'm definitely the early riser type. I'm like up at 5, I have emails, and then I just feel better knowing that I have the rest of the day to myself.
Yeah, no, that's a really important self-awareness thing, I think, because again, like it's not, there's no right or wrong. It's just like, what is the best methods for you? Like some people work in the evening, some people work better at night. So you just have to kind of figure out what's best for you.
Yeah.
Um, Talking about your business though, £200 to six-figure business. I mean, that is incredible. T Tell us a bit more about how how did you do that? Like, obviously, I'd imagine it wasn't easy. What are some of the things that you've learned along the way? And second question, I guess, is how much is it hard work versus luck? I think that's what a lot of people think.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, £200 isn't a lot of money at all. For me personally, this had been ruminating. It's not something that I just decided to do one day. Like it was 6 months in the making. So for me, it's always about taking the longer route rather than the shortcuts, because I think when you take the longer route with something, you can be sure. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, not too much, but I just wanted to make sure that I had everything in place before actually launching. So I would say, like, from the idea to actually launching, maybe 6 to 7 months of planning, of creating a website, which I built by myself, by the way. £200 isn't a big budget. So the school of YouTube is literally your savior. Like I YouTube everything, learned how to do like basic codes. I
Mm.
use Squarespace, so it was really easy to build a website using that platform
And
anyway.
now with ChatGPT, I'm sure you can do a lot more.
100%. Yeah. That this was before ChatGPT. So I'm actually proud of myself. I don't even know how I got through uni without ChatGPT, but like I did it. And yeah, so having that small budget, you really have to be specific about what you need. A lot of things are for free. So utilize social media, create just one page website if you can, talk to people. Like word of mouth has been my most powerful form of marketing, especially at those early stages. Getting those referrals, getting people talking really helped to plug my business and get the word around. So that really helped at the beginning for sure. And then, yeah, it was just that gradual build, really. And yeah, like you said, it's not always been smooth sailing. It's been tricky at times for sure, but you learn all of these things as you go, and then you just become more resilient and more used to things. There's nothing that really phases me much anymore. I think I've dealt with everything now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's that. Yeah. Resilience for sure. And I think like constantly adapting. I think you
Yes,
basically put it out there, learn what's working, learn what's not working, and then constantly change. Like adapt, 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 adapt until, you know, you have a fully functioning product that people are paying you for.
definitely.
Do you think anyone can be an entrepreneur, start their own business?
Yeah, why not? I think, you don't have to ask permission to do anything. Like if you want to do something, then don't limit yourself with, oh, I don't have experience in this, or, I don't think I'm good enough for this. The only thing you can do is try. And I think sometimes it's about risk. Like I have a lot of friends who say to me, I wish I could do what you do. I'm like, well, why can't you? And I think people are afraid of failure,
Mm.
maybe, but I think failure is success. I think to fail, you learn. And I had to fail so many times. I've made loads of mistakes, but by failing and making those mistakes, it's allowed me to progress to where I am today. And without mistakes, I would be unaware. And I'll make the mistakes later down the line, which could have more of an impact. But I made lots of mistakes at the beginning, which was great. I think that's the best way to do things. Make all of your mistakes at the beginning so that as things grow and get bigger, they become less daunting. If you make a mistake, like now, you know how to resolve it.
100%. And you guys are all young, you know? This is the time to make mistakes. Like you don't want to be getting to like 40, 50, and then, start doing that. Because Michelle, I mean, you must have started quite young.
Um, I actually went to uni as kind of like a mature student, really. So I didn't start too young. I started when I was 30.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's young. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the average, yeah, successful founder is like, 40 plus. Like, you
Yeah.
made all your mistakes before 30.
Yeah.
Um, If anyone does have any questions for Michelle, definitely let us know. Put it in the chat. I'm sure Michelle is happy to answer any questions. When it comes to freelancing, because I feel like a lot of creatives, freelancing is an option, and again, it kind of allows you to have that portfolio career. How do you actually start to be a freelancer? Like, where do you even go, and like, how do you get your first client?
So with like even if you have limited experience, you can create your own projects. Like I've been doing that since a teenager, really, like creating projects, doing little drama clubs, collaborating with local schools. So I think just offer one piece or clear piece of help that you can offer like a local business. Maybe you can create a logo. Maybe you can take some photos for a friend's brand or create a short video for a community project and like document everything, screenshot everything, take before and after photos, get testimonials, and that's how you start to build your early portfolio. And just start where you are and with the resources that you have and then go from there. And things can only improve if you kind of carry on with that method.
Mm, definitely. Um, I think like when I was younger, when we started Eric, we were in our early 20s, and I think we were just naive, which I think is good. And I think when you're young,
Yes.
naivety is great because you actually don't know what the realities are. And I think the older you get, the like scarier things become because everything feels a bit more realistic. So yeah, just don't be afraid, like you said, to reach out,
Yeah.
create a website, like pretend that you are the highest paying freelancer. I think it's a mindset thing as well.
Listen, I had so much audacity. Do you know what I did when I was 19 years old? So I was one of those like creatives that wants to have my finger in many pies, wear many hats. So I decided that I wanted to create a fashion show in Mayfair. I was like 18 years old at the time. I got L'Oreal to sponsor our goodie bags.
Oh
Like
my gosh.
18-year-old me. I don't even know if I have that audacity still. I'd love to channel the younger me still and get that. But like, yeah, I managed to get free things from big brands. So, don't be afraid. You don't have to have all this experience. You don't need to be an older person. Just have the audacity to reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is where it is. Would you sponsor me or can I get
Yeah,
some freebies?
100%. If you don't ask, you don't get. And fake
Exactly.
fake it until you make it. That is
100%.
definitely something that we've done. Um, and then so you do look for creatives and you
Yes,
do hire creatives.
I do.
Tell us more about that.
So yeah, I work with a lot of creatives in Chatty Cats Care. I've worked with photographers, videographers. I've actually employed a lot of them internally. So a lot of my pet sitters are also creatives. So when I find out that they have another skill, like, oh yeah, I do photography, or oh yeah, I'm a videographer, I'm like, That's amazing. Like, absolutely. So then I will hire them and they can charge me, whatever price that they charge. And it's just really nice that way because they understand my brand, they understand how I would like them to capture it. And that's something that's really important to me when hiring people. Like, I want to know that they know the essence of the brand and that they share my values, which are like being kind, having respect for people and animals. So it's those kind of things that I look out for. Also, I hired like graphic designers within my team. They were the ones who created my logo that I've had since the beginning. So yeah, it's really nice having such a large team that are made up of so many different creatives who are all so talented that I can then work with internally.
No, that's so nice. And I think, yeah, good example of like what are things that you're doing in your day to day that you might not think are need creatives, but actually everyone does. Like your local church, your local coffee shop, the I don't know, I was just gonna say the bus station. I was like,
Anywhere. Look, there's so
um,
many small businesses that could thrive if they just had like a little support with social media.
mm,
Yeah.
mhm. Absolutely. Well, Michelle, we've run out of time. We've actually gone over, but this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And it's just so impressive, like what you've built and that like you have such great energy. So I feel like that's really going to come through to a lot of people. But yes, I hope you have the good rest of your day and we would
Thank
love to have you back.
you. Oh, thank you so much. I hope
Thanks,
you guys enjoyed
Michelle.
it. Bye.
Bye.